Hi, my name is Ben Dai, and I'm the director for our latest Overwatch short, Shooting Star.
And hello, I am Jake Patton, the editor for the short.
From the beginning, when we were conceiving the story, Jeff Kaplan came to us and wanted us to tell the story of D.Va, but that no one else know about. It's the other side of D.Va that only a few people know.
We spent a lot of time because she's one of the, most well-known characters from the game. She has a very distinct attitude and behavior in the game, and we wanted to preserve that, but we were trying to show a side of her that wasn't front and center to the public eye. I think that was probably the hardest thing to do, was to find the right balance between D.Va's casual attitude versus her public image.
Absolutely. I think a lot of it come from the actress as well. She spent a lot of time doing game lines, so she had this very unique sound to D.Va when we were playing her. But then we asked her to sort of take it down a little notch, and then maybe actually, play her as like a normal person a little bit more. She actually pulled it off really well because she just went in and started to really relate to the character, who she is as a real, it's a real girl,
The flashback scene, for me, it really works as like sort of a peek at what D.Va is carrying on her shoulders as the hero Busan and as the main character of our piece, and it's this conversation with Daehoon that she's sort of exposing what that feels like and what she feels like she's going through, and he's trying to be her friend and really sort of take some of that burden, but she's a little standoffish. And then we get this line from Daehoon that sort of sums up the whole show. It's like, don't be afraid to ask for help. And it's a good life lesson in general, but for D.Va, that's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is that you can't do it alone, and sometimes even the best soldier needs
backup
help. Yeah, exactly. So that's the premise of the whole film.
What, dude? That can't be right. It's too soon.
So something that really resonated with me when I was growing up is watching anime and seeing some of those flying missiles streaking across the sky, and I really want to recreate that feeling. And watching some of the movie growing up in the 80s has to do with airplane dogfights and stuff, really inspire some of these aerial combat sequences. During production, we have a stage after storyboard called Previs. One of our Previs lead, Don Ta, he actually took upon himself to sort of choreograph the sequence, cutting footage from live action and anime, animation from different movies, sort of just did this like collage of imagery that's very, pretty much dictate the whole aerial combat sequence.
Yeah, it helped a lot. It was awesome. We were able to sort of get a lot of ideas from how things would move through, and the speed at which you can cut a air combat scene is interesting because there's not much to show. I mean, it's the vehicles and then the interiors, but and we're over water, so it's even simpler. But that reel really helped me as far as helping to find the right feel for the pacing of the action and still have our moments where we can stop down and have moments like this where they're having a conversation, but you're still feeling the action, you're still feeling that there's jeopardy and danger. Yeah. It was great that he did that.
And then from that edit, we actually created the 3D animatic, what we call the previs edit. During that time, we actually, there's a big debate how we actually do the aerial combat sequence in real 3D. Should we cheat every single shot so that they're not moving actual distance, or should we actually do it the correct way? We end up doing it pretty much the correct way, with the exception of a few shots that we cheated. In order to do that, we have to sort of come up with the actual distance from where the Omnic shows up to the Busan city, and then the mecha base, which is situated right in the middle, and how they interact with each other in relationship to the base and the city. And you can see in the sequence that we try to make sure that every single shot when we're flying toward the city, we see the city in the background, and then we situate the base where it's supposed to be, so that you get, even though it's a really simple a location sort of situation, it's very easy for the audience and for us to get lost and forget which side we're facing. And then also the moon plays a huge role because
the light direction.
Because this entire show is lit by one giant light source, which is the moon. It is practical. Yeah, so the punch and the pistol moment, when we were storyboarding these sequences, one of the artists came up with these ideas, and it was really fun. And at first I thought it was a little too much, but we kept it in there, and then everyone liked it, and people fall in love with that sequence, so it made it all the way to the end. There's some debate whether, you know, she should use her gun while driving her mech. What's the physicality of it? Is it even possible to stick her hand out? But at the end, I thought we executed pretty nicely. We took great care in preserve everything from the game. The models are pretty much one-to-one to the game model with higher resolution. The sound, our sound engineer did a really good job of incorporating game sound and, you know, jazz it up so that it feels like it belongs in that environment. And when we mix it, we really make sure that all these game sound show through so that we can actually hear it with all the other background noises.
And there was a lot of animation detail paid attention to for D.Va because we have so many close-ups of her face. So a lot of time went into the fine details to make her face look on model with the game, with a little extra for cinematic needs. And especially scenes at the end where she's on the mech working and we get her long hair.
Yeah, absolutely. If you notice, she actually went through different variations of her outfit. You know, when she starts, she had the hat on with her jacket and her suit underneath. And in her flashback sequence, she had her makeup, and so basically she had the normal D.Va look in the game. But in our short, we felt like it's kind of weird that she will have her makeup, so we removed that and then put her hair in a ponytail, so it's more of a casual look because the Omnics caught her off guard. And then at the very end, we have another version without the hat, her hairs are down. So there's a lot of work went into making her look natural. Thank you very much for spending
7.5
minutes with us, and we'll see you next time.